All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Pittsburgh Steelers after a tough road loss to the Indianapolis Colts this past Sunday. Honestly, I've been putting off this video for about 48 hours, but here we are. As Justin Fields said, you have to give credit to the other team, but at the end of the day, we beat ourselves. Now let's talk about Justin Fields. He's playing like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. The Steelers' struggles are largely due to a banged-up offensive line, leading to almost no consistent running game. But despite that, Fields and the team really fought hard. In the second half, they outscored the Colts 21-1. It was truly a game of two halves, but they made costly mistakes, whether it was on offense, defense, penalties, or even unfortunate injuries. Despite this loss, the Steelers are sitting at 3-1. And while losing on the road to Indianapolis stings, it wasn't a bad loss. They had Old Man Joe filling in at quarterback for an injured Anthony Richardson, so all things considered, it's as good a loss as it gets. What's interesting is that not only are Steelers fans sold on Justin Fields, but the players and even the media seem to be on board with him for the first time in his career. Now here's my hot take. I don't think Russell Wilson will take a snap for the Steelers this season, unless, of course, Fields gets injured. Before we dive further into the video, if you enjoy this content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for daily NFL updates. Steelers fans, I appreciate you as always, and if we can get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the world to me. Looking ahead, the Steelers are planning to start Justin Fields again this Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk stats. Fields is currently 7th in completion percentage, 9th in total touchdowns, and 12th in passer rating, with only one interception so far. The Steelers are 3-1 with an incredible defense, so there's a lot to feel good about. Fields has been lights out this season, completing 70.6% of his passes, racking up 830 yards, and throwing 3 touchdowns. He's also a threat on the ground, rushing 38 times for 145 yards and 3 more touchdowns. The best part? He's only thrown 1 pick, though he has fumbled 4 times in 4 games. Sure, the fumble in the second half against Indy was rough, but the way the team responded was impressive. They fought back, play after play, possession after possession. I really feel like Justin Fields has complete control of this locker room. If he keeps playing like this, there's no way Russell Wilson starts for the Steelers. No chance. What got under my skin, though, was the announcers talking about bringing in Wilson during the game. Sure, Fields made some mistakes, but so did the offensive line, the defense, and even George Pickens. The whole team had moments where they shot themselves in the foot. I hate making videos after losses, but I truly believe in this Steelers team. As we've seen all summer and through the first month of the season, Justin Fields is the real deal. On Sunday, he threw for 312 yards, had a touchdown through the air, and added 55 rushing yards with 2 more touchdowns on the ground. In 3 consecutive series, the Steelers managed to make it a one-possession game. But there are some key issues emerging. The Pittsburgh Steelers' offensive line is in shambles. Isaac Sumalo missed his 4th straight game, and to make matters worse, James Daniels, the right guard, injured his ankle on the first drive. Sadly, he's done for the season with a torn Achilles. Get well soon, James. I can't believe this keeps happening to the Steelers' offensive line. But despite the injuries, the depth they have, whether it's young players or veterans, is truly impressive. We'll dive deeper into the offensive line later, but I wanted to bring it up because the run game has been rough. Technically, the Steelers ran 30 times for 122 yards, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. Not great, but it's better than 2.1 or 3.1 yards. They did score 2 rushing touchdowns, both from Justin Fields. There was no Jaylen Warren in this game, and I doubt he'll be ready to play on Sunday night against Dallas, but it's still early in the week, so I won't speculate too much about injuries. Fields had 10 carries for 55 yards, but the Steelers' running backs combined for just 67 yards on 20 carries, averaging a low 3.4 yards per carry. Cordarrelle Patterson provided a spark in the first half with 43 yards on 6 carries, averaging 7.2 yards per carry. But after he went down with an ankle injury, the run game completely stalled heading into the fourth quarter. Najee Harris, unfortunately, struggled mightily. He had more carries, 10 than yards, 9 at one point, and finished the game with just 19 yards on 13 attempts, an abysmal 1.5 yards per carry. According to True Media, 23.1% of his runs were against an 8-man box, which just can't keep happening. It's frustrating, especially considering how weak the Colts' run defense has been this season. Harris should never end up with 19 yards on 13 carries. I'm expecting Dallas to focus heavily on stopping the run, whether it's Harris or Jaylen Warren in the backfield. But once again, let's not get too deep into injury talk, since I'm not a doctor, and definitely not the Steelers' team doctor. After the game, Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin chirped at Harris on Twitter, calling him soft and claiming someone else runs harder. That's the kind of talk that makes me think Najee Harris is going to have a breakout game this Sunday night against the Cowboys, especially on primetime TV. And of course, we can't forget about Justin Fields. Defensively, the Steelers didn't start strong, but they bounced back in the second half. They entered the game allowing a league-best 8.5 points per game, but gave up 17 plays of 10 or more yards, including 5 plays of 20-plus yards. I will say this, though. I really like Anthony Richardson. Unfortunately, he got injured early in the first quarter, finishing with 3 completions on 4 attempts for 71 yards. That's not great if you're the Steelers' defense, but I hope Richardson is okay because he's one of the most exciting young quarterbacks to watch. As impressive as Richardson's stats were, I still believe the Steelers would have won this game if he had played the whole time. I know, it's easy to get caught up in could've, would've, should've, but that's my take. At the end of the day, this loss wasn't as bad as it might seem. The team shot itself in the foot with penalties, silly turnovers, and fumbles from George Pickens and Justin Fields, but it's still a good loss. And now, I'm calling it, Pittsburgh is going to take down the Dallas Cowboys this Sunday night. Or at least, that's my prediction. Anyway, it's late, and this video has been a bit of a rant, but I wanted to give you guys a Steelers recap. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more.